Okay, so plumbers are here today. 1 day plumbing job, 4 guys. I mean, it's less than a day, it's a few hours. It's 2 bathrooms, kitchen and laundry room, so it's pretty simple. Let's see what they're doing here. I think they've been here for about an hour. Yeah, it's going. Oh, you're doing that one, huh? You're going to be on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get the bathroom shower valves ready. Got to do some of it in copper. So here we have double vanity, or it's one vanity, there's 2 sinks, toilet, which I measured where I designed the house to have, because I drew the plans myself, but I have the window centered on the toilet, and then I have the floor joist layout. I didn't frame this one, whether I frame it or not. I have the floor joist layout so that the floor joists don't end up where the toilet's supposed to be, because the toilet should be centered on the window, and then that window is centered between this wall, which is the tub wall, and then where the vanity is here, and then the toilet is centered, but then the window was also placed centered. The vanity's flexible because you can add I buy the pre-made cabinet, so you can add a filler strip, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3, whatever you need to get the vanity to make this centered. So there's a little flexibility there. This isn't, of course. So, but I had it all figured out. I did that when I designed the house. And then tub shower here. Got all the holes drilled. Sometimes they come after the roofers. This time the roofers they're gonna roof after this. So I think they're coming early next week. I'm not as much of a rush to get it roofed as I am in the winter, because it doesn't really rain this time of year here in Texas. So I mean, it can. Of course, the kitchen sink here, and then there'll be a dishwasher, the refrigerator here. See that everything's laid out and ready. And then tub shower here, faucet here, toilet here. Again, the floor joists they run this way, but they're spaced. They're laid out so that it doesn't interfere with this. I don't want them like cutting floor joists and doing, putting headers in. It's just too much work. So, of course, there's a single sink here, 4-foot vanity. Again, this will be centered between the tub and where the vanity ends. It's a 4-foot vanity, but you put a filler strip in and adjust. This is 49 inches or 50 inches or whatever you need to make this centered between the tub and the end of the vanity. Yeah, just little things. And then here, I have a laundry room. There'll be a washer here, dryer here. They're all drilled out already. Of course, this house has a crawl space, so they'll run the pipe out. And then here will be the water. The water main will come up here, and there'll be the shutoff valve for the water main. Pretty typical. And then hot water heater here. You can put them in the attic here. If they ever leak, it can be a problem. And then accessing it, so on and so forth. There is room in here. If I do put one in the attic, it would have to be a short one. You couldn't have a tall boy. There's not enough. There's a 412 pitch, so there's not enough space up there. So they have to put in a short one. They're real expensive. Or the ones that the heat on demand, which are even more expensive. So anyway, just keep costs down. Be a 40-gallon electric hot water heater here in the corner. It fits. It's fine. There's plenty of room to get access to the dryer and to get in here. So Yeah, so that's why I did that. And then out here, what I did this time, which I always forget to do, and I've built a lot of these, the same floor plan, and I finally remembered this time, is I buried, under the floor, they'll run 3-inch, but then once they get to go under the foundation, they switch over to 4-inch, run 4-inch out to the street. So what I did this time is before the guys poured the concrete, these are footings, they basically sit on top of the ground, okay? We don't have any frost issues here. So anyway, yeah, so what they would do is they would come in and they would actually dig underneath here. Now this is only a foot wide. It's a 12-inch wide footing. It's 2 2x8s, a foot apart, so it's it's 8 inches by 12-inch strip footing with rebar in it. Anyway, so they would dig underneath here. Yeah, so it's a little bit of a challenge, especially when you're trying to work from the other side inside the crawl space. So this time I remembered to buy a piece of 4-inch Schedule 40 pipe, and I cut it maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet long, so it sticks out on each side. So it's down here, and I marked where it is. It's a few inches under the ground. So what they do is they'll come out here, and then they'll use a 45, and they'll angle it down, because here you want to bury maybe around 2 feet. You don't have to go that deep here. Like I said, there's no frost issues, but you don't want it on top of the ground. So anyway, so they'll come out here, they'll cut it off, they'll probably put a 45, and then once this sewer gets hooked up in the street, they come to do the sewer tap, provide the sewer line, and the water meter. I'm assuming they're going to bring it in through here. The pipe is out in the street, and I have a little leeway. I can say, hey guys, can you put it here versus say over there? They don't really care that much. So I'm going to try to get them to come through here, so I don't have to damage a lot of tree roots. And then plumbers will be able to hook up here. So this time I remember to put that underneath. And I also did the same for the water line here too. I put another mark. And what I did is I got a piece of 1.5 inch, Schedule 40, and what they can do is just slip the water pipe through it. I didn't get actual water pipe. It's easier just to put a piece of 1.5 inch, and then you'll be able to slip the water pipe through like a sleeve. It's like a sleeve. It just makes it easier for them instead of trying to dig underneath the foundation. So anyway, so that's kind of something I remembered this time out of all the times I built this house. I think it was the day before they were coming to pour concrete, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I want to put the pipe underneath. So I ran up to the local hardware store and grabbed a piece of pipe and got that done for them. So we'll see if that works out easier. It's not something I have to do. I mean, they'll plumb it either way, but they're my plumbers, and it's not a big deal. It saves them a lot of hassle. So it's just something you do. Getting ready to run. Oh, he's on the other side. I have an access panel, this access panel here, crawl hole. I have one on both sides of the house because there is a wall in the middle. I know they could squeeze between there, but I always put one on each side for this floor plan. It makes it easier because I have to go in there too at the end of the job. I spread plastic on the floor, so I have to go in there and do that. So anyway, yeah, so that's what's going on. They're just getting this started, so they'll get all these run, and they'll be ready for the next time I call them. Will be when I do the sewer, when the sewer tap is put in, which is where they tap into there's like a 6 or 8 inch in the street. I don't know, whatever's down there. They'll run a T off of it, and they'll bring it up, and inside my property, or not necessarily inside, but in front of my property, they'll bring it up they have to dig down to find the main under the road, and then they'll put a saddle there, and then run a 4-inch up at an angle, and it'll come up through the ground, right? And then the plumbers will dig over to that, and then maybe a couple feet down under the ground, they'll cut it off, and then they'll hook their 4-inch to it, and then of course the water meter, so they'll set the water meter also. So anyway, yeah, you pay a fee for that. I think it's, I don't know, $1,500, something like that. Subdivision takes care of it. This is a gated subdivision, so it's not a city or county job. The subdivision has their own crews that come out and do that. The company that manages the water, it's a private water system in here. So anyway, yeah, so and I'll do that. I don't know. I mean, once you get that installed, you start paying the monthly fee, whether you use water or not. And here, water's really expensive. In this particular subdivision, it's like $200 a month, even if you don't use any water. That's like the minimum. The rest is cheap to live in here, but that, for some reason, they really get you on the water. So anyway, so I don't want to start paying that when nobody needs water. So I'll wait on that. But the plumbers don't care, so they'll come back and with a mini excavator and do that. Anyway, yeah. So that's kind of the job. Yeah. Oh, there's a hose bib here, another hose bib in the back, one on each end. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole job. Next time they come back, we'll be ready for roughing. This job will probably be done in maybe 3 more hours. They'll be done. So, alrighty, back to work.